back to Mucky Hope Productions coverage of Survivor 49. We are, by the end of this episode, we are at Final 6. And I think for how pedestrian the vote went, it was very exciting, despite the fact that it was a unan vote. I am joined, as always, by Vee and Jake. How are y'all doing?
Good. Yeah.
I'm doing good as well.
What do we think? What do we think of the episode? Before we go into the nitty gritty, what do we think?
Yeah, I think V and I kind of disagree with you. I think that it was just okay.
Oh,
I think during the episode I was kind of thinking like, I feel like I'm not going to have a lot of like really good stuff to say on the podcast, and I'm like, oh no.
I feel like we could wrap this up pretty quick. I mean, we've got a knowledge is power.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
We've got an idol. We've got a block of vote. We've got 3 things. None of that came out to play this
Which
episode.
means the next episode is going to be crazy because like half of those things have to be played next week. So
fair.
It was looking a bit obvious boot from the.
Yeah, I will say that. Like I like this has been a storyline for most of this merge of if it's someone and Savannah or someone and Rizzo, it's probably the someone that's going home. Mm-hmm. Now in this situation, I felt like it was Sophie's time, but there was a little nugget that was thrown during, I think, the second to last segment of the show of the episode where Soph says that she's in the middle and she can decide who goes. And I'm like, you know what? It is 7. She is a fan. Yes, she has her 3. She could do this. I don't think she will, but if she does, it won't be the craziest thing ever. The craziest thing ever would have been if it wasn't Savannah or Sophie. If anything outside the 2 of them had happened, it'd be like, what just happened? But I don't, for me, it didn't take away from the episode because we still got all the greatest hits, I guess, of this season, including the chickens, which we'll get to. We get all the greatest hits of this season of when we think about the positives of this season, I think we get all of that in this episode. Including, and starting off with, Sage is pissed off. Sage is pissed. This time she's pissed that Sophie has flipped. She is entertaining conversation, I guess. Soph is a little weird to come into their conversation because it's like, hey, kind of feels like you guys have a lot to talk about. But Sage is angry. And one of the main storylines of this episode is Sage just being like, yeah, I'm getting my revenge because fuck you. I know that Sage is a main character on this podcast, and I would say on the show as well. What do we think about Sage in this segment?
It was a good Sage episode. We had some good Sage moments. It was good. It was a good Steven episode. It was a good Sage episode.
Great Steven episode. Yeah, my goodness.
Great Steven episode.
Yeah, great Steven.
Sorry to change the subject away from your question.
We'll wait for Steven.
Sage. I like Sage. I like Sage a lot this episode. She was able to get back, get some revenge for her boy Jawan. She needed that. She needed it.
Yeah, and I would say
Sage is the character this season, not surprised. She makes more emotional move. Hi, Gabe. Yeah, exactly. She's playing emotionally.
But like, I feel like one of the things that a lot of these Survivor fans online love to complain about is people not being petty like they used to be. Well, Sage is a prime example of someone that's just being petty because, hey, you voted out my number 1 ally. So now, instead of going after Savannah, who, like, we probably should, I'm going to go after you because I don't like you anymore. We get people like Christina who is outwardly saying, I don't really mess with Savannah. Like, we just don't get along. Like, this is, like, people are still outwardly saying, I would say even more now more than maybe ever, except for, like, the earlier seasons. So I don't like this person, and I'm going to say this in front of everyone. But Sage is Sage is probably the textbook example of the season, because this is the third or fourth person this season where she has been just the audience and a lot of the people in the game know. Yeah, Sage doesn't really mess with this person, and Sage has now made it her mission to get rid of them. Jake, I know we talked about last week about win equity and all of that, and how Sage has probably peaked second place in any iteration. Does that change for you in this episode?
Maybe, because it is interesting to hear Soph kind of talk about Sage as like a gamer, like that's a perception that she has of her, and it wouldn't surprise me that maybe some others would have that perception of her. That already kind of raised it a little bit from what I thought it was, because I didn't know if anyone like perceived her as like playing. I mean, obviously she was making moves, right? She was kind of controlling a few of those votes early on, but I just didn't have anything from anyone else talking about her, right? And so that comment is very small, but kind of changed my mind in the moment where I was like, interesting. Okay. Somebody is like, I can play the game with her like she's playing the game. That already is like enough at a final tribal to be like, yo, I was playing the game. Like, that's a lot more than you could say for a lot of people that have made it to final tribal. Yeah. Like, a lot of people where it's like, you weren't even playing the game. Like, you just straight up were not playing the game. But you can't say that for Sage. So that already is like, okay, fair enough. I still don't know. Like, I'm still trying to like think through my head. Okay, what's the final three where she wins? I don't know.
Yeah, she'll be fun on a jury. Just gonna say
it. She will be fun on a jury.
Yeah.
If only Shannon was at final three, I think we'd that would be
excellent. Oh my god. Oh my god. Throwback.
The days of Shannon. We hardly knew ye. I still think Sage's peak is probably second right now, but once again, that could change in an instant next week. And I think this is a testament to the players this season. I was kind of looking at my notes, but where I won't say I flip flop on players every episode, but like they've done a good job for the most part, at putting other people at center screen than others. Like, we don't get much Savannah this episode, and Savannah has been pretty much the main character for most of the season. We don't get much of Savannah. We get a couple things. We get a couple of positives. We get a couple of negatives. But once again, the negatives are coming from other people's mouths. But this was very much a Steven 1, Soph maybe 2, Sage go down the line. She makes this point of saying that Savannah's clearly winning. You guys just gave her the game. This is a textbook play to use in Survivor. It's like, oh man, I can't believe you're letting this person win. Yeah. But it actually felt real. It felt like she actually was like, yeah, I actually cannot believe you did this. V, what is Savannah doing at this point? Because at the end of this episode, spoilers, Savannah doesn't go home. Savannah doesn't catch more than what? No, she just gets more than a vote.
She just gets Sophie's vote.
Yeah, she just catches a vote. What is happening? Because everyone says that she and Rizzo, but specifically her, are a threat. This is not a secret. What did she do specifically in this episode to be like, hey, wow, we'd rather get rid of this person now than get rid of Savannah when we're at 7?
Well, nothing that we saw.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You know, I do think Savannah's days are numbered. I know I'm a flip-flopper. I change every week. I don't see Savannah at final 3 anymore. I see her riding on Rizzo's coattails. But maybe that's just the edit. I think if she gets to Final 3 or Final 4, it's off the back of challenges and immunity wins. That's what I think. But yeah, I don't know. She's used her extra vote. I'm bored now with Savannah.
I'll tell you, this was Sophie shooting herself in the foot episode. She didn't do anything in this episode that shot herself in the foot, but just the fact that we've seen now Alex, Jawan, and Sophie all get taken out for basically the same exact reason, which I cannot trust you. I don't know where you stand. Like, she was just last week voting with Savannah to take out Jawan. Now she's going against Savannah. This is exactly what this season is like the most anti-flip-flop season I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like, if you flip once, it's like, we're done. Everyone is done with you.
Dead to me.
It's like, this is literally like everyone is thinking the devil I know is better than the devil I don't. Literally, like, no one is trusting anybody that is like, I can't know for certain where you stand. You know where Savannah's standing. She's with Soph and she's with Rizzo. Boom. You know where Steven is. He's with Christina. You know. Straight up, like, that's exactly what is screwing Sophie over this episode, where it's like, why are we even dealing with this? Why are we even letting them get away with this, right? And so I see this move and I'm like, this isn't the worst move you could have made if you're any of them, honestly.
Literally everyone else.
Yeah. And it's why I thought, Rizzo going after Alex was so brilliant, because it is very disadvantageous to have somebody like this. Trying to rely on somebody like this, you can't rely on them because you don't know where they stand. And you're seeing the most success that people are finding in this season is just standing their ground and saying, like, not even entertaining anything, right? Like, just say where you are and just, I don't know, see where things line up, right? It is weird, though, that, like, they could have taken out Savannah. They could have done it. Sophie was with you. Steven, Christina, Sage. You guys could have had the majority right there. Boom. That's 4. So knowing that, it's like, okay, this was not the best move you could have made. The best move you could have made was taking out Savannah. And then, boom, Steven, Christina, and Sage, you all have the majority because you have the vote block. So knowing that is frustrating, but I also, like, of course, hindsight is 2020, and I don't think this was the worst move you could have made, taking out Sophie.
No, and it's crazy that we're saying that because Savannah is such a big threat that we're sitting here saying, yeah, it's not the craziest thing they got rid of Sophie, despite the fact that
they had the clear numbers to do it.
Yeah. And they're going against their better, I won't say better judgment, what would benefit them later in the game by getting rid of someone that's shown to be a flip-flopper. That's not, like, the fact that we're sitting here saying that shows, like you said, this is a season of, hey, if you flip-flop, we're probably not going to vibe with you. And I think that's what Soph says when she's trying to figure out which side she's going to go on. Where she's like, hey, I don't know if I can trust these people, Christina, Steven, and Sophie, because mainly Sophie has shown she's willing to just do whatever. Devil you do, devil you don't. I don't know if I got that phrase right, but just like 2 birds, 1 stone, I don't know. And so, like, in my notes, and I literally put in my notes, like, glance over, Soph and Sage talk about going after Savannah and Rizzo, which doesn't matter because it's like the 4th episode in a row that someone has brought up going after either Savannah.
Like a running joke at this point, right?
It doesn't matter. So cut to the actual important part of the episode and our main character. Boat shows up to the island. No one wants to go because they don't want to gas themselves for immunity. Everyone has the perfect excuse, and that leaves poor Steven by himself. Just I guess I'm going. And so Steven goes, and one of the only not first, one of the only times this season where a person could potentially lose their vote. Am I mistaken?
Mm-hmm. No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
And so at first, I'm very annoyed because it's like, okay, well, we're gonna do.
Then it's like foregone conclusion. We already know how this season's going to go if this, goes
if Steven's losing his vote at Final 7, that's weird, and I'm pissy. So I'm actively rooting for Steven, who I'm not actively rooting for in the actual season. I'm actively rooting for Steven to win this challenge. And man, what a it's like an Edge of Extinction type challenge. That is insane. They had him run the island to find this, which he ultimately wins. Thank goodness. Guys, what do we think about this? Like, this is I don't think this is an exaggeration to say this is one of the hardest Survivor challenges that we have seen.
He was scaling rocks. He was like falling down. It's a little bit like Winners at War with the log thing.
Yes, I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
Ethan. Yeah.
That was insane. Why is Steven not coming back for 50 now after seeing that?
He declined. It had to be he declined. He was hurt. He had to get surgery when his tail blown or some shit. Because the one time where he ate shit on the rocks and landed straight on his ass.
Yeah. That looked hectic.
I can't come back. I'm sorry.
Dude, obviously jumping ahead a little bit, but like Steven doing this and then winning immunity, that's so badass. That was badass. Like straight up.
Right.
Like that was everyone declining to go specifically because of the immunity challenge, and then he just wins it anyways. It's like, oh my gosh.
He does win the Vee's Knees award because his knees would be fucked after.
The fact that his knees aren't fucked up by the end of the episode shows that he's got great knees.
And then he can be steady. That's insane.
But so he basically has to run around the island, find numbers to open a box. A box opens the advantage. Advantage falls out. He gets a block of vote. Block of vote. Yes. Block.
Yes.
Which, once again, not even actively rooting for Steven to win the season. And I'm like, hell yeah. Like this, let's go. Let's see what happens. This is exciting. And I felt like it was very exciting when he got back to camp and told the truth, because he didn't lie about anything from what we were shown. My favorite part of the episode is Rizzo thinking, I got this. He's got to steal a vote. I'm going to tell him to his face, which is like one of the many times this season that someone's told. I know, I'm 100% sure that you have a steal a vote. And it's so funny as an audience member, like, you're wrong, but also, yes, I feel like most of us would probably think that in that situation as well. How do you guys think that Steven, what do you guys think about how Steven went about getting back to camp, and what did you think about the interaction with him and Rizzo?
Well, thank God he's got a good poker face, because it was just
he's got such a great poker face that he acted something with his face, and Rizzo's like, oh yeah, I read his face, like he because
he was just like, okay,
he did this.
Sure. It was.
I thought it was awesome how he was just like, yeah, I got an advantage.
Yes.
That's it. I got an advantage. There you go. That's it.
And Rizzo's like,
yeah. And it's like because Rizzo thrives on like definitive moments, right? Like he had definitive moments of Alex flip-flopping back and forth. He can show this to people and say, boom, there you go. With this, he's like, I got nothing. There's nothing. He just told us he has an advantage. There's no room for like what could it be, although he's incredibly close to what the actual advantage is, right? A steal a vote is a block a vote, except you just get the vote as well.
Yes.
So it functions almost the same.
Which
so
like
it's
Steven
funny
said,
how
it's like,
close he
yeah,
is.
a steal a vote is higher than a block a vote, but like, I'm cool with him thinking that it's a steal a vote.
Yeah, and I also thought like I like that there's a block a vote because I feel like putting a steal a vote in here, that's a little too much. That's tipping the scales a little bit too much in my opinion, because they could have just straight up like, even if Sophie was with them, they could have just gotten the vote for themselves. So, but this is interesting with next week because they have 3. They can just block somebody's vote and they don't have an extra vote. So they basically are able to force Rizzo to play as idol next week, or maybe Sophie will steal it. Next week's the last week to use it, or they just don't. They'll probably fumble it somehow, right? Like probably
because like and I know we talked about this, but like every fumble that the non-trio has had this season has made sense. Like they're not fumbling for fumble's sake. They're fumbling because people are doing things that are like, hey, I don't trust you anymore, so I'm probably going to vote you. I'm going to do this. So it's not like the people making the wrong moves are making them because they're just not in tune to what's happening. They're making it because it's like, hey, we know this is a thing, and we're almost willing to sacrifice this being a thing because I don't trust you because you have shown that you're willing to play this game.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would react to this. I think that I would still try to go after the Savannah Rizzo trio, or the Savannah Rizzo Soph trio at some point, but like I don't hate what these people are doing over here because it's like, yeah, as we get down to the nitty gritty, as we get down to 7 and 6, how do I know that you're telling me the truth when they say you're going to vote for Savannah? Because shit, Christina and Steven, we're not shown on camera, but Savannah and Steven, and I'm jumping ahead with this, Savannah and Steven vote for Sophie, which was the biggest plot twist of the episode for me, because I didn't see that shit happening at all. Like, I thought it was definitely going to be a split vote down the middle, or sort of. So with the fact that they voted for Sophie, it was like, oh, wow, okay, cool. Go ahead.
No. Well, that's the thing. I go back in my mind as well because Sophie was potentially someone that both sides could use. You know, I look at Savannah and Rizzo. Would it have been better to keep Sophie around, get Christina out, and sort of wound Steven a little bit? You know, could that have been? But I think at the end of the day, you said it yourself, Drew. They just could not trust Sophie to play with them. Neither party could. So yeah, it's one of those things like, yeah, maybe they should have kept on with the Savannah thing. Maybe Rizzo and Savannah should have done a Christina thing to really wound that side. But they got the man that was running in between the camps.
Yeah.
Is that the best idea? Time will tell.
I also think that Steven sees an opportunity where he felt, okay, if I don't go along with this Sophie thing, then they might just vote out Christina. Or they might vote out Sage, which is 2 people he really needs, you know?
Yeah.
And like he definitely cannot work without, you know? And he said, okay, I have a chance to get rid of somebody. Okay, it's not Savannah or Rizzo, but I don't have to use my block a vote, and I don't have to lose Christina or Sage. So that's another thing where it's like getting to save the block a vote. Now he can just very safely use it because it's the last time to use it, right? And he can still have the majority as long as no shenanigans, you know, they don't play the idol correctly or whatever. So like I said, I think that this was a perfectly fine move for Steven and his cohorts to make.
Yeah.
I think Gabe brings up an interesting question. Does knowledge is power work on just idols or other advantages?
I think it works on everything.
So
Yeah,
but would Soph need to know?
no!
Would she need to know exactly what Steven has?
No, that's what's gonna happen. Damn it! That's what's gonna happen. She's gonna steal his block vote.
Well, I thought it was you have to know what it was.
I don't think so.
She doesn't have to name it.
So.
I think that she has to like. I feel like you have to.
Really?
You can say, "Hey, can you give me your advantage?" Because like, if you say, "Hey, give me your advantage," it's like, yeah, I could have anything.
I haven't seen it played enough.
I feel like it would have to be you know exactly what this person has and can take it, and like because once again it's like
okay, so they have a choice. They can ask a player, "Do you have an advantage, or do you have an idol?" If you say, "Do you have an advantage?" and they have an idol, then you don't get the idol. But if you ask them, "Do you have an advantage?" and they have a block vote, then you do. So you don't have to know what it is.
Oh, so you just have to say advantage or idol. Oh.
So she's got Steven, she's got Rizzo.
So that's what the tricky part is. If you don't know if they have an idol or like a steal a vote or something, then you're like, wait, shoot, okay, what specific question? Which one of those two questions do I ask? But if you know that it's not an idol, then it's pretty easy. So, damn, we just cracked it. That's how it's fumbled. It's not really fumbled.
She's a powerful lady.
Yeah.
How do we how do they work against that? It's kind of hard. Well, I guess Steven could have just lied. Steven could have just lied. He could just
play it. I mean, the fact that he played the fact that Rizzo, the all powerful Riz God, is 100% certain that he has a steal a vote. All Steven has to do is now make him 100% certain that he has an idol instead, because Steven has done really well at not selling the fact that it's a block. Yes, it's just a block.
But also, literally nobody knows that Sophie.
Yeah, Steven doesn't know to do that though.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
If Rizzo goes home next week, because of Soph, that's one of the greatest things. That is, I would say, in a new era.
I think she's got to steal his idol. Steal his idol. Steal his idol.
I feel like it was a teaser this week. I feel like the edit is leading up towards Soph's big move. That's what I think.
What I was thinking about watching this episode was, hey, what if Soph just wins and either A, declines playing season 50, or B, wins and it's just like they don't ask her back because they felt like Savannah and Rizzo were the two big characters.
What if she just beats them? What if she just what if she just beats Savannah at Final Tribal?
Yeah, what if she just wins? This would
and then
if Soph wins
in like
3 with any of them, if either Rizzo, Savannah, or both of them, it would be one of the biggest upsets, not because of what has happened in the season, but because of what we know happens for 50. Like, watching the season, the 3 of them seem like they're on the same type of pace.
Well, see, maybe they thought adding a winner to season 50 would give the game away a little too much. And so they didn't want to risk actually casting the winner of season 49. And they went with Rizzo and Savannah because they're aligned and they've already got,
And this season of 50 has a fair few duos on the season. Like, they wouldn't be the only duo from their first or whatever season. So, like, that is...
Maybe they just were like, we're, regardless of what happens, we're not casting the winner. So
yeah, like, I wouldn't be shocked if Soph won.
Me neither. She's my winner pick now. I think it's going to be Soph.
I
think the final 3 is going to be Soph, Savannah, and Steven. And Soph is going to take it.
Sure.
That's what I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think Steven's going to figure... I think Soph's stealing Rizzo's idol, not the blocker vote. Steven's going to use the block vote in a cool way. Soph's going to use her knowledge as power in a cool way. And she's going to take the whole thing out because the jury's going to go, well... Golf claps. That was terrific.
See, now this is, yeah, like Soph has got to know, like, this is it. Like, this is crunch time. Like, you got to do something now. Like, you can't, like, yes, Rizzo has already done some pretty remarkable moves, but Savannah really hasn't. And this whole thing, like, you can really steal a lot of I guess resume from Rizzo by just stealing Zylo. Just steal it. Just take it. And already, even if you don't like use it or like get him out because of that, like let's say he just goes out and fire or something, or even gets the final tribal with you, that's already like you didn't even get to use it. Like I just took it from you, you know?
Yeah.
That's already kind of taking something away. And
I feel like Rizzo's the type of guy on a jury, he would put his vote towards the person that got him out. I think he's that type of guy.
Yeah. He definitely seems like the type of guy.
Totally. Yeah.
In my notes I have, obviously the episode is done twice for me, but take a drink every time someone says the word strenuous.
Yes.
Said a lot.
Is that how they describe
every time this whole season, sometimes every time someone mentions a chicken or tries to kill a chicken.
Strenuous and chickens. Strenuous is used so much in this episode that I actually I went back to watch it again because of this, but also it's like, am I was I just delirious because I think, was I snowed in on Wednesday? No, I wasn't snowed in. I just stayed in the house all day. Am I crazy thinking they said this word a lot? And no,
they did.
I'm not crazy. They said delirious so much that if you do a drinking game with it, you would be really drunk by the time Steven gets to the challenge, because they say it so much during the little time that they have, like, oh, who's going to go? Who's going to go? Who's going to go? It happened. He says it a few times during the challenge, and then it's said at least once during tribal. We don't have to talk about it. It's just a fun thing.
The word of the day.
Word of the day.
Steven gets his block of vote. The next thing on the thing is more chickens. They get more chickens. And we talked about this already, but Rizzo confronts Steven about his vote steal.
Love.
Which, like I said earlier, is another moment in this season where someone just says to someone how it is. Like, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to bullshit you. This is how it is. And I know that you have a steal a vote. For y'all, because this has happened so much in this season, specifically with Rizzo and Savannah, how would y'all take just in this specific moment? You just got this block of vote, or maybe you don't get the block vote. Maybe you actually don't get anything. How are you reacting in the moment? And yes, you're dehydrated and you haven't had any food. Yes, let's take all that out of it. How are you reacting in the moment?
Well, see, I think it's such a hard thing to do. What Steven did was actually brilliant. And I feel like I would accidentally do that and then go, oh, that was probably the best move for me to do. They're not going to believe him if he says he comes back with nothing. Even if he did come back with nothing, they wouldn't have believed him anyway. So it was a way to sort of go to be honest, so he didn't have to hold up some sort of, oh, I lost my vote kind of rubbish, and just throw them all into a frenzy. Whether he did that on purpose or was like, well, I'm not going to give them everything, but I've got to say something. And it was hysterical. Like, he stumped Rizzo, which we haven't seen him stumped a lot this series. And it just completely threw Rizzo off his axis. It was hysterical.
Yeah, because he's so I won't say he's overconfident. No, he is overconfident in this situation, but because he's been right so many times.
Yeah. And he was just like, I don't know what to do with this not information, but there's information.
Yeah.
It was great.
Jake?
Yeah, I think that for me, I just play into it. I'd be like, I think Steven just says, okay.
Yeah.
And he says, I think I would do the same thing. I'd be like, oh yeah, I do? Okay. I have a steal vote apparently. Okay.
But aren't you also aren't you an engineer?
I am, yes.
Oh, there you go. Think the same.
It's an engineer thing.
Yeah, only engineers do this.
But I was sitting there, I'm like, if he forgets these, like, not to say that engineers are obligated to remember numbers, a 6-number combination, but I'm like, well, this guy forgets a 6-number combination. It's a letdown to all engineers everywhere.
Well, then he's really sleep deprived and hungry. If he couldn't,
it would have been.
So I'm like, well, that's just
three
3 numbers, really. It's not even 6 numbers. It's 3 numbers. You could even do 2 numbers if you wanted to be fancy.
Yeah, which is what he started doing.
Really wanted to.
Yeah, 1. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, just roll it into 1. He can remember 1 number.
So
143,204 or something like that.
Yeah.
We get to the immunity challenge as a challenge, an older challenge. We've had it for a while. And Steven wins. And I can honestly say that was, besides the unanimous vote, was probably the most shocking part of the episode. The fact that Steven does win again, because I do buy that they are overly exhausted, and like he did just have to run around the entire island the day before, I believe. So the fact that he wins, I won't say in a blowout, but like I think the closest person was going back for their second M, maybe.
I think Sage was in second.
Yeah. So like,
which I was like, what? What's going? And I think in third was like Soph. Like Savannah, like wasn't really in it.
Yeah, Christina was pretty close.
Yeah.
So Steven wins. Obviously, he picks Christina first to go on the trip with them, and then he picks Rizzo, which. Okay, cool. And they had the conversation that. Well, go ahead.
Well, he wasn't really playing that for strategy, I don't think. I think it was genuinely because Christina's his second and played the idol for him. And Rizzo, according to my notes, Rizzo hasn't had any sort of reward since the merge. So I think it was just him. I think Steven was just being nice. I don't think he was wanting to do that particularly strategically, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think also, I don't know if this factored into his decision at all, but it would be smart if it did. Rizzo also has really not been good at these challenges. And so it's like a very kind of low stakes move to give him more food, because it's like he's probably not going to beat you in a challenge anyways. Like obviously the whole like Sophie was the big challenge threat, and now Savannah has been, so it's like I don't think he was going to want to give more food to them.
No.
So I think it was pretty safe to give it to his closest ally, Christina, who also isn't amazing at challenges, and Rizzo, who is not, and also happens to have not eaten. I think you're right.
Yeah. The conversation that they have, I didn't put any stock into for a bit. I would say, like, ultimately, yeah, it doesn't ultimately matter, but they talk about wanting Savannah out, which is just, once again, it's just the running gag. It's the running gag of the season. Hey,
boy who cried wolf.
Even when it's the boy who cried wolf. We, in an episode where we don't even get much Savannah content, we at least get this. We at least get, oh yeah, this time. And I think it was this scene this scene is ultimately what messed me up when the actual votes came through, because I actually bought that Christina and Steven would vote for Savannah. So we I
mean, Steven was pretty clear in his confessional.
Yeah, he was.
It was a Sophie vote.
So is Soph saying, I'm not stupid. I know I have to get rid of these people. Like, and she says it 2 or 3 times. Hey, I know I'm not stupid. I know I have to get rid of these people. So it's like, okay, cool. If we're gonna look at that and say, okay, yeah, that could be a red herring, I can look at Steven saying what he's saying. It's like, okay, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They're gonna show us this because ultimately he's gonna try to vote, and him and Christina are just gonna look wrong again when they vote the wrong way. But that's not what happened. They voted unanimously. Wait, what?
Yeah, thank goodness it didn't happen like that. That would have been a problem for them.
But the funniest part of this entire scene is something that I alluded to earlier when Jake uses his phrase. Rizzo cannot remember 2 birds, 1 stone. 2 birds, 1 stone.
2 stones, birds. I don't know. And he'd been eating.
Is that just,
so come on.
Is that just like? Do you think that Rizzo with a full stomach remembers that, or do you think?
Of course he does. 2 birds, 1 stone is it's.
I know.
But in the moment, and I think the second time I watched it, I actually just broke out in laughter because I'm like, yeah,
Come on, man.
You're almost there. You're almost. And the fact that he figured out, I didn't write down what phrase he ultimately used, but he did it deadpan. Like he never broken like laughed when he said the new phrase. He just kind of said what he had to say and then moved on. I do think it's a testament to not a testament, but like it's the fact that he's dehydrated and malnourished. It's like, yeah, this is not even funny. It's sad that I cannot remember.
I mean, we had a guy that was so brain fogged that he just voted for the wrong person. Remember 46 Ben, I want to say his name was, voted for Kenzie, and Kenzie was like, huh? Like he was like Kenzie's name like wasn't even talked about or anything. She was actually really close he was really close with Kenzie, and she's like, what? And he's like, yeah, I just was really brain fogged. I don't even remember who I voted for.
But if you ask the online fans, they're being coddled. They're being coddled, which is whatever. I'm over it. The strategy talk is what it is. It is pretty much it's going to be Sophie or Savannah, and like I've said, and like most of us have said during this merge section, yeah, it could be Savannah because both Savannah and Rizzo can't win, and I would say that both of them can't just make it to the end, maybe. But this is another situation where it's like, okay, if Savannah goes home, yeah, it'd be shocking, but like we're at the point of the game where it's not the craziest thing because we're at Final 7.
Yeah.
With Savannah and Sophie, it's like, wow, we've been getting a lot of Sophie content basically since Merge. And I've sat here and said, Sophie might be getting like an Erica edit where we're being told she's a threat, but we're not really seeing it. But in the last few weeks, we have been getting the threat Sophie edit. So the fact that in this episode, everyone is saying Sophie has to go because she's a threat, both physically, socially, and strategically. She's got to go, and we're willing to put Savannah, for some reason, on the back burner just to get rid of her. Tribal, once again, yeah, it's always by the numbers, but there's always 1 or 2 moments this season where people will just say how they actually feel, which is breaking, like going off script almost, where it's like they're breaking the fourth wall of saying, hey, this is actually it. And in this situation was Christina and Savannah, where it's like, yeah, we started on 2 different tribes and this, that, and the other. And, you know, maybe on a different season, it might be like this. And just like, yeah, bullshit. Like, no, this is what it is. And I loved that. I love the fact that it's like, yeah, I don't vibe with you. And I've said it in confessional, and now I'm saying it here to your face, and we're going to laugh about it. And, oh, yes, I love you too. It's so great. We're playing a game. It's all good. It's not all good. If Christina's on the jury, I don't see her voting for Savannah to win.
Of course not, no.
At all.
It's probably why Savannah's not tried to vote her out.
That's a good point.
Needs her at the final 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, and a thought I had while you were talking, and I was listening to you, Drew. I always listen to you, Drew, but I did have a little thought that popped in, and I'm like, with Savannah, are we just bigging her up because she is on 50 and she's actually not being that impressive? Like, is she like kind of mid and win, but we're just like, she's not 50, so she's got to be like a winner.
They put her on a pedestal in this season, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me. It reminds me of Erica in 41, where it's like, what's going on? Like, why is she being talked about so much as like this big threat? And now that's a different situation because nobody was even trying to vote her out. They were simultaneously saying, Erica's this huge threat. Okay, so why aren't you trying to vote her out if that's the case? And also, what has she really done to make her a big threat? This time it's a bit different because there's still the question of, okay, what has she really done? But at least they're like trying to vote her out. So it's like giving more like credence to what they're saying, right? Where it's like, okay, I believe you because you're actually trying to vote her out, you know?
Yeah.
But it still kind of reminds me of that where it's just like a lot of tell and no show. You know, with Rizzo, it's like obvious, you know. I think Savannah is pretty showy of just like very just blunt, like kind of what you were saying of like
intense.
people just saying yes and like you know also like she is known to kind of mock everyone if she wins immunity and be like, you can't vote me out, or like if they tried to vote her out but failed, then the next time it's like, hey, you tried to vote me out but you didn't. So it's like, it's funny because it's a lot of tell, no show from everyone else, but it's a lot of show from her without telling. There's no like, you know, it's like a weird.
Yeah, I mean, and she didn't even use her extra vote right. So just saying.
That's true. Didn't need to play it.
She didn't need to play it. So I don't know. Maybe we've just drunk the season 50 Kool-Aid and
it's very hard to not do that because we know who is there. And I like I said last week when Mucky put it in the chat of like, oh, do you guys feel like these people deserve it? It's like, I still feel like they are because of the content that we're get. Don't want to ruffle or rustle any feathers here, but it's the same thing with Micronesia, where people put Parvati on this weird pedestal after Micronesia, where if you've ever gone back and watched Micronesia, like I
have several times,
like in that alliance, Parvati's like 3.
Yeah.
3 of 5.
3 blows her out of the water.
But because of revisionist history, Parvati led this all-conquering women's alliance, and she did it by herself. And like she was leading these people all by herself. It's like that's not what happened. But
and she had to get a soundbite.
Because of history and because of Reddit and because of this, it's like, oh no, it was Parvati and nobody else. It's like, well, that's crazy, and you're done. And it's the same thing here, where it's like, I think we are kind of turning. We're kind of, and we've talked about both positive and negative about how Savannah is being perceived by a lot of people in the season, how we're perceiving her. I'm interested to see how specifically me look back on Savannah 4 or 5 seasons later, because right now, I'm high on her because of this, despite the fact that Christina has outwardly said that she doesn't like her, and a lot of scenes we've gotten with her. But like coming back and seeing how, and especially like seeing how Survivor fans look at her too, because Survivor fans are the ones that make or break a person's character or game. So if they put her on this pedestal of like, oh yeah, she's the new Parvati, it's like, okay, we don't have to do that, because I feel like Dee did amazing in her season. Dee's one of my favorite winners, period. And I sat there and said Dee had a better winning game than Parvati, and I got a lot of hate for that. I never said she was a better player. I said she had a better winning game than Parvati, and people like ate me up for it. I'm curious to see how people are going to perceive Savannah in all of this.
I agree. Unless, I mean, there's still time, but so far, nothing's really stood out.
Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Are you with us, Drew? Have you eaten?
Yeah, my screen went black again.
You're paranoid.
I wonder if this is like a timing thing because this happened around the same time last week.
Is it black again?
It's black again.
Oh, well, we can still see you.
My screen is just black again.
It's timed out.
As we start to wrap it up, like I said at the beginning of this and multiple points throughout it, for me, it was shocking to see Sophie go home unanimously, especially for a final 7 vote, and especially with I fell for Christina and Steven potentially going the other way. I know y'all kind of basically said, this was a middle of the road episode. What made it that way overall?
Some sounds. Can everyone else hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I think
okay. I'll just answer the question though.
Yeah. We may have lost Drew.
I think it was kind of what you said of a lot of talk about, taking her out finally, and they could have done it. And I'm just like, okay, just take out Sophie. But then I think, now talking about it, that can happen sometimes where I think we're talking about it now and I'm thinking of it a bit more fondly than I did right after I watched it.
Yeah.
I thought that we were going to struggle to even talk about anything, but clearly not, because we're 52 minutes, that's
yeah.
That's not, as insignificant amount of time. But I would say, it was just kind of oh, that was it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I at no point, I mean, look, I thought, according to my notes, I had that maybe I knew Sophie was going to vote for Savannah, and I thought maybe Christina would hold her ground, and I was like, if Christina's smart, she might just jump on the Sophie boat and not rock the boat too much, and that's what she did. So I mean, I wasn't particularly surprised by the unanimous vote. Oh, poor Drew. Yes, you are. You're still here, Drew.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's better now. Just there was some sound thing that sort of
yeah, that was weird because I heard that too, and I thought it was from one of y'all.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll find out. So I wasn't particularly shocked that Christina went with the majority vote. Oh, my computer's going crazy too. It seemed a little bit obvious boot for me. Sorry. So
no, I mean that leads us to a final 6 where there are 3 or 4 advantages left in the game.
Yeah, which I mean, come on, we got to use them up, and can we do that in a blaze of glory and really just wow us? I'm looking for all 3 advantages to be played in one episode. That's really what I'm looking for. Let's face it.
Yeah, if that happened, I hate when it happens in Game Changers. Obviously, if it happened in this season, it'd be a cherry on top of the amazing merge that we have had.
Especially if it's I would rather Soph steals from Rizzo than Steven.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because I think that'd be more fun. That'd be more fun.
Oh man, I think it would be even more awesome, although super unnecessary and probably not smart. But for Sophie to be tell Savannah and Rizzo hey, I've got the knowledge is power. I'm gonna use it to steal Steven's advantage. And at the tribal council, Rizzo. That would be so awesome.
That
But
would
I think that
be-
would be unwise because then you're letting them know that you
Yeah, then
have
they can
it.
figure something out. Yeah, just in
Yeah.
case. I feel like Rizzo wouldn't even 100% trust Soph at this stage. I think if
Yeah.
Rizzo caught wind of that, I don't think he would
Yeah.
be comfortable enough to keep
Yeah.
his title.
Yeah, I
But,
agree. I think she needs to just go in, just take it. Just take it.
Take it.
Just do it.
She won't even need to use it, but just to have it.
Yeah.
So, wrap it because once again, can't see what the time is now. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
saw this, but like
55.
55, crazy. I'm gonna have to see what's up. This is 2 weeks in a row that I've cut out
Yeah.
at the same time.
Well, I've got the subscribe for Cheeky Naughty Times, and we're
on
on
the screen. Okay, perfect.
Instagram. Yeah, that's going down below.
Despite the fact that 2 of the 3 of us weren't that high on this episode, this is still one of our longest episodes of the season, on the pod at least. I'm tomorrow or next week is the penultimate, I believe. So like we've got a lot of storylines going into it, and I'm really excited to see how everything plays out. I still think that, based off what you guys convinced me of last week, only 4 of the 6 could actually win. But if Sage can somehow pull it out too, that'd be cool. Any final thoughts before we head out?
No, I think I said I'm going to stand by my top 3 being Soph, Savannah, and Steven with a Soph win. That's my hot take.
Okay.
So you don't have Rizzo up there?
No, I think Soph is going to cut him down, and I'm going to love it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that it's, for me, I'm going to be like slightly shocked if it's neither of Soph or Savannah. Then I'm going to be really shocked if it's not Steven or Rizzo outside of them. But yeah, if it's Rizzo or Steven that win, I'm going to be a little shocked. I'll say that. I'm going to be a little shocked because that's just, I feel like we're just, especially after this episode, kind of veering more towards Soph could actually pull it off.
Yeah.
Savannah's obviously up there because, of course, she is. I mean, that's what they're telling us to our face every episode. So, yeah, that's where I stand.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. We will be back next week with the penultimate episode. So yeah, this is the last week that I have any type of travel. So
same bat time, same bat channel.
I'll make sure to post any pictures I take with any Survivor players this weekend.
Yes.
Thank you both as always, and we will see you guys next week.
All right, bye guys.
Bye everyone.